welcome to Ginny's Gin live stream. I'm Ginny, and along with my husband Rob and our two dearest friends Amy and Jeff Close, we founded Ginny's Gin a few years ago. Today is April 30th, and 20 years ago today, our lives, I'm going to tear up, our lives changed forever. We gave birth, or I gave birth to our firstborn, our first son. Wow, look at me. And after 22 hours of labour, I had to have an emergency C-section, which I was really pissed off about. And then when we had our second son, I was able to have a natural birth, which is what I wanted to do all along. But Jack just wasn't going to come out of the hot tub. He was just having a good time. And I tried so hard, but no, it wasn't happening. Anyway, so shout out to Jack. Happy birthday, sweetheart. He's at university, so he's not with us. But anyway, yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, the cocktail that I am going to make is in honor of Jack, because ever since he could eat solid food, if you had a punnet of fruit, berries or what have you, anywhere, he would just devour the whole thing. I mean, he just loves his fruit. And if we would go places and there was a fruit salad on offer, I would have to literally pull him back from not eating the whole thing. And sometimes if we'd be in the store, I would give him a punnet of blueberries or strawberries or what have you, and just let him eat just to keep him busy while we're going through the store. So what I'm going to do is a blueberry smash. And of course it's May tomorrow, and all the berries are in season. Just every berry under the sun basically here in Northern California is coming into season. So I'm excited. I've got some nice organic blueberries. And thank you to the Rago family. Thank you, Janet, for delivering a wonderful, huge bag of fresh Meyer lemons from their tree. So we've got some wonderful Meyer lemons as well. So onward. So Rob has a really interesting cocktail that he's going to make with Ginny's Gin, and I was shocked at how good it tasted. And you'll understand when you listen to the cocktail, because it's kind of different. But mine's a pretty easy cocktail, and there are two ways that you can enjoy it. I'll show you both ways, and I am going to start with 2 ounces of estrəgin. And here it is. And for those of you that don't know, this is our brand new sister brand to Ginny's Gin, and it's a little play on words, a little fun thing for us to do, and but it also has a serious cause. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of help women through menopause by taking the edge off it. All right, so, sorry. Okay, 2 ounces of estrəgin. There we go.
Can guys drink estrəgin?
Yeah, I know. So I've been selling estrəgin into our local stores, obviously. It's only been a few days and had great reaction, but some of the guys, and a lot of the buyers are guys, right? They're like, okay, so if we drink estrəgin, are we going to grow boobs? No, we don't have anything like that. We don't purport to help with menopause whatsoever or help with your hormone balance, but we can certainly restore your sanity and, like I say, take the edge off. Okay, so that was 2 ounces of Ginny's Gin, and now I'm going to do an ounce of lemon juice. Beautiful fresh Meyer lemons from the Rago's tree. There's that, and this is so juicy, it's not going to take much at all. So here's my, here we go. I'm going to do 1 ounce of the Meyer lemon, and I need a little bit more. There we go. Full 1 ounce. There it is. Oh, I need a little strainer for that. I've got some pips in there. Beautiful colour, look at that. Okay. And I'm just going to do like a 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. You can do a 1/2 ounce if you like, but as you all know, I like it to be a bit more tart. I don't want it to be too sweet. So it's really to taste, as you'll get to know how you like it, obviously. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some fresh thyme. So the thyme is just beautiful in the garden right now, and so is the sage. I mean, all the herbs, everything's looking really, really good, and it's all so fragrant and wonderful. So I'm going to do sort of, well, you can see, maybe 1/2 teaspoon, something like that, of the actual leaves. There you go. And could you get me a tissue, please, honey?
I know,
There we go.
paper towel?
And paper towel, that's awesome. Excuse me. Okay, that's what happens when you have a little cry. And now I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of the organic blueberries. Let's see. Really good. So, one more for good measure. And what we're going to do is we're just going to muddle it all up. And then we're going to add some ice as well and shake it up. So muddle this. So we want to release, obviously, all that wonderful blueberry and thyme goodness. There we go. It starts to turn a really great colour too.
Azul.
Yeah. Some people, you know, I've seen this recipe where when you muddle things up, they actually put everything in the glass with ice and they just sort of let it be there. I prefer to strain it personally, but you can do whatever you like. A little bit more. Yeah, so for those of you, you know, who are parents, as you know, once a mother, always a mother, once a father, always a father, and it doesn't matter how old they are, they're still your babies, right? So, to that, and 20 years, yeah, wow, goes by fast, doesn't it? Okay, so now I'm going to add some ice. One more. There we go. And I'm going to shake it up, get it nice and cold. There we go. Okay, so there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can strain it into a Tom Collins glass, which you fill with ice. And that's lovely, and then you top it with club soda, and then it's more of a sort of blueberry smash gin fizz, if you like. So that's one way you can do it if you want to be refreshed and what have you. If you want to be a little bit more sophisticated and you just want a more elegant glass and you just want to sip on it, then we can strain into a little coupe like this or a Nick and Nora glass or something like that. So either way, it's going to be wonderful.
Sophisticated and shit.
Yep, something like that. So I am going to double strain. I think that's going to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Because there are some bits, obviously, from the blueberries and the thyme and what have you. There we go. Look at that pretty colour. It's the colour.
If it was a smash, you would leave it all in. That's what
Exactly. Yeah, if you wanted to, or some of it anyway. And I'm going to have to just. There we go. And using my muddler, I can get the. Will that work? Yeah, it's coming.
This works better, but yeah.
Okay. Super. Like Jack taking his time to come out, this is taking time to pour into the glass. So Rob can tell you the story of his, his experience if you like. But my mother, so she came from England for this, and she's pretty old. She's like close to 80 actually. She came to help, not really. And so we're there in the Napa hospital, and this is all going down, and they say, okay, it's going to be an emergency now, and so you were there, so you should probably tell the story. But my mother had a small bottle of gin and tonic in her handbag, and after they said that I was going to have an emergency C-section, she's like, what did she ask you for?
Ice. Glass.
A glass.
Yeah.
Drink the gin and tonic.
I was going to rush off to get scrubbed up, and she said, just a minute, dear. And I said, what is it? She goes, can you get me a glass?
So, you see, these are blueberries that I've just put on a pin here. And then I've done a little, let's do this. A little lemon twist as well. And there it is. And so I would call this Jack's, if I'd used Ginny's gin, I would call this Jack's blueberry sunrise because it's so pretty, but I'm actually going to call it muddled memory because I'm using it. I'm actually using estrogen, so this is muddled memory, which, you know, we all know about that, don't we, ladies? Okay, so there's the muddled memory. And Rob, take it away with your awesome... Oh, you know what? Actually, that could be kind of cute too if I put a little thyme as well. All right, I'll get out of your way now.
20 years of time.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, hi everybody. So what I am going, okay, so let me give the proper shout out about where I got the idea for this drink. I give credit goes to Piper Christensen from a restaurant bar in New York City called Oxalic. And the idea is that, well, I love to milk wash, especially rum, but also gin, because it clarifies it, takes away bitterness, and then it leaves whey protein behind. So when you use that booze in a drink and shake it, it gets really frothy, almost like it's frothy like an egg white, and I love that. But this person decided to try, and they found something really, really cool, was just to take some Burrata, and this is just like one of our like easy to get like national brands of Burrata. And the water that the Burrata is soaking in is now full of the same kind of whey protein that comes out when you milk wash. But it's a lot easier to work with because you just use it straight out of the jar. And it makes a really crazy good drink. And if you taste it by itself, it's a little bit salty. And it makes a really, really good gin sour. So I'm going to make one. And yeah, I'm not going to talk about Jack on Facebook because I don't want to cry in public. So, okay, so I've got my mixing tins. I've got my super frosty glass that I just took out of the freezer. And I'm going to take some of these really, really, really nice Meyer lemons that our friend grew on their tray. And I am going to I'm going to make a drink that's 2 drinks. So it's going to have 4 ounces of gin instead of 2. So if you want to do a regular size drink, just do half this. But here's my little strainer. And I'm going to measure into one of these bigger mixing or measuring glasses. So I'm going to go for each drink would have 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. I'm going to put 1.5 ounces in this little dude right there, and there's our 1.5 ounces.
It's your Uncle Ralph.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to any of my relatives from Virginia that are watching, especially Uncle Ralph, because I think he might be watching right now. Okay, so, and then this would be the 2 ounces for one drink, or in this case, it's a double, so 4 ounces of Ginny's gin. I've done this with 3 ounces of gin and 1 ounce of rum, and it's really good that way too, but it's awesome with just gin. We're gonna take 1 ounce of our Burrata water. So I'm just gonna take a little spoon and just kind of spoon, well, it's 1 ounce per drink, so it would be 2 ounces. And it's taking quite a few spoons to get up to the 2 ounce mark. It sounds crazy, but boy, does this make a good drink. And it's really, really, really frothy, more frothy than an egg white. It makes that really frothy, creamy topping. So there's our Burrata water. And then I made what's called a gum syrup or gum syrup, which is basically, you can use regular simple syrup and you would do 3/4 of an ounce per drink. Or in this case, a double drink would be 1.5 ounces. But this is gum arabic. It comes from acacia trees. And people use it all kinds of beverages, and even some people use it in wine. So 1/4 gram of that, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, that makes, this is what I call it, gum syrup. So we're gonna go ahead and just wanted to explain how that was made and what the recipe was. So then here goes our 1.5 ounces of our gum syrup, which makes things feel more viscous when they're in your mouth. So it adds viscosity, body, richness, mouthfeel to drinks, and some drinks are really, really good with that added in. So everything's in there, just the 40 ingredients. And now I'm going to take some 4 ice cubes because it's a double drink. Slide that in there. We're just going to give this a little shake. A really good shake because it's going to be frothy. People go to a lot of trouble to make frothy drinks, and This is a really good technique. You could do this with any drink that calls for egg whites. You could add an ounce per drink of Burrata water, especially when it's in season, especially when you're using Burrata for something else.
Yeah.
You like it on your tomato salad, or you like it on a pizza, or oh, it's locked up a little bit on me. There we go. Surprising foam and persistent foam that lasts on the glass for a really long time.
Look at that.
Longer than the drink will last. Here.
Awesome.
So there's your froth.
Can I get a photo of that too?
And one of the, I've made it a couple times this week trying to hone in on the right ratios, but this is the original kind of ratio, more or less, that came from the restaurant that kind of designed it. They have some Mandarin distillate that they've added to theirs. This doesn't. One night I made it, I put a little lemon zest on top of the foam, and that was awesome. I tried it again last night. I put a little bit of Angostura bitters, aromatic bitters, the orange colored one. And that's really awesome too. Tonight I went out in the garden to get some thyme for Ginny, and I found these sage is flowering right now, and there's beautiful flowers. And I think aromatically just really, and it looks beautiful on top of the drink, and I love that. And you can even, I don't even know that we need bitters, but we could just do, you know, just for the heck of it. One of the reasons that people put bitters on top of foamy drinks is because sometimes egg whites can have an off aroma, and they're trying to cover that up just in case. And in this case, you don't have that. But this is the Ginny's Gin Burrata Water Gin Sour with our friend's lemons.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the drink.
Awesome. So we are going to cheers to our 20-year-old today. Hold it together. Cheers. They're pretty cocktails today, huh? So thanks for watching, and we will have some more cocktails for you next week, and share with your friends, tell them what we're doing. And and for those of you that live locally, it's getting on the shelves basically from Healdsburg all the way down to the city. It's in Mill Valley as well, and over in the Napa County too. So, and if you don't have it in your local store, go ahead and ask for it as well. So cheers, everybody.
Second cheers.
Cheers. Mm-hmm.
I like mine.
Good. I like mine too.
Funny
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Now we have all this cheese to eat.
That we can do too.
Yeah, because there's no more water on it. I've made drinks 3